This episode of the Content Amplification Podcast is sponsored by eWebinar. Are you tired of doing the same webinar over and over again? Well, use ewebinar.com. Designed for customer success and marketing teams, eWebinar delivers the perfect webinar again and again without you even being there. You can try it for free for 14 days at ewebinar.com. Now, let's get started with this episode. Creating and selling digital products is a great opportunity to grow your small business, whether you're a brick and mortar or even a digital product creator already. Now, if you've tried this, you may have run into issues where it seems clunky, complicated, and the pieces don't seem to fit together. Well, on today's episode, I'm talking with Scott Moran, one of the co-founders of SamCart, and how they simplified that process and made it really easy for you to create, sell, and deliver your digital products. All right, Scott, thank you so much for being on the show today. I'm really excited to learn from you and share your wisdom with our audience. We want to be talking about launching a digital product in 2022 and what you can do with it and essentially what your tool, SamCart, can help people do. So thank you for being.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. Thanks so much for the invite, Sean. Excited to chat.
Excellent. Well, you're the expert. Let's share what do we mean by a digital product? I mean, if you're a business owner and you don't already have one, but maybe you're brick and mortar, could you create a digital product, and what is it?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure we'll get into this kind of stuff. I would say that any type of business, I don't care if you sell donuts in a donut shop or if you are a lawyer, billing clients, like anyone could use a digital product. We define a digital product as anything that doesn't need to be put in a box and shipped to someone's house, right? Or it's not in-person type stuff. So even a service could technically qualify as a digital product, but a lot of times examples of digital products would include online seminars, recordings of different things, any kind of digital asset that you can create with your hands, an ebook, a template, a script, those kind of things. Video courses, of course, are a really, really big popular one, but pretty much anything where, and the nice part is, we can get into some of the benefits of it, but the nice part about digital product is, in general, they cost you virtually nothing to go and create. You can sell them to unlimited people, right? There is no limit to trading your time for that person's, energy type stuff. And they are, they're just wildly profitable. They are great things to add on to an existing business. If anybody is, you said, a lot of people are selling services and things like that listen to you. Adding digital products into your offerings not only can sort of expand your customer base, right, but can add enormous, great numbers in profit and sort of just that extra icing on the cake kind of revenue that is already existing and already kind of built into a lot of service businesses.
Absolutely. And it would probably be truthful to say that even if you had a physical product, you could convert that into a digital product.
That's all I do all day, every day. We SamCart sort of caters to digital products and digital creators, but we have a lot of people who essentially they're physical product creators. They started on Kickstarter, they started, that kind of thing. And they're ditching WooCommerce, ditching Shopify, that kind of stuff, because they want sort of what SamCart has, and we can get into some of that too. But it's just a different way of selling. It's a more focused sort of way of selling, essentially. And they want some of the features that they want to. I want to sell. One of my favorite ones is there's a guy that sells drill bits on SamCart, and so he sells this kit, right? He kind of has a business. He started with I'm gonna quiet Slack there for a second. But he started with a business that sells all kinds of drill bits to hardware stores. You know what I mean? He was like, I could sell kind of direct to, the people that want to buy these things. And he puts a kit together of sort of 8 starter drill bits or something like that, right? And he sells those. And what he sells on top of that, he says, hey, listen, you're buying these drill bits. Would you like, my 1 hour training on, how to use these things effectively or whatever? And he's selling drill bits for, I can't remember the price, is something like $50. And people are adding another $20, another $30 to buy this kind of digital product offering alongside of it. And he said that extra $20 now represents over 80% of his profit. And so, it's just one example, but yes, I mean, a digital product is it's a great multiplier for any kind of physical business, any kind of service business, because again, it's extra revenue you can capture without a lick of extra work, without a lick of extra time, and usually with very, very, very minimal sort of added costs to get there too.
Yeah, so what you're talking about is like the order bump or the upsell, at that
Exactly.
time of checkout, right?
Yeah, big
And
time.
a lot of time, if you position it or companion that digital product quite well, a lot of times it can help with your ad spend and everything, and cover those costs and grow your
Absolutely.
business that way. Perfect.
Absolutely. Yep.
Now you guys have walked the walk. You're talking the talk. I mean, you've got 19,000 small businesses sold over $2 billion of their own stuff on your platform. What is the proper way, in your opinion, in your experience, to launch a digital product as a small business?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think the best thing anyone can do is to start small. I always say that a great product, and it doesn't really matter if it's digital or if it's a service or whatever, a great product solves a problem. And so I think the advantage of digital products is the speed to implementation, how quickly you can get something out there into the world. And so I like to see, for people who have existing businesses, what I like to see them do is like say, okay, listen, let's take your most popular something, whatever that is, your most popular service, your most popular product, your most popular anything that might be, right? And what is something that you could add on, a la that same kind of the drill bit sort of example, right? What's something else that you could sell to that customer and say, hey, look, would you like to also add on this? And just for just an incremental extra cost, start small, start experimenting there. Some great service examples that I see. I see a lot of things like there are people who like, I'm building websites, right? That's what I do. It's my service. I do that kind of stuff. And what they'll do is, hey, listen, for like just, an extra $100, an extra $150, something like that, I'm going to give you, my 15, design must do's for your new website, things like that. Things that you're going to want to take on and do immediately after we finish this engagement and I kind of finish building your site. Here's 15 things to go do next, or here's my, 10 favorite, WordPress plugins we're going to throw on your site or something like that. But think in terms of what is that logical next step that your customers are going to want to take, and what sort of digital product or what resource or templates or scripts or something do you basically likely have sitting around on a hard drive, because if you're a service product, you probably do this for customers all the time anyway. You probably have something sitting around on a hard drive that you could package up, sell to existing customers, and start gaining incremental gains, like incremental extra revenue on what you're currently doing right now anyway. And so I think that's just if the question, to bring it back to the original question, where would you launch? Where would you start? Right? I think, what is that logical next extra step to what you're already doing that would be like the right mix of, you're gonna get addicted to it, right? It's gonna be something you're gonna see the difference, you're gonna see that extra profit kind of in your bottom line, but you'll also be able to implement really, really quickly, right? I think that's a great sort of like first step.
What would you say is the main reason, or one of the biggest reasons, why people don't launch their digital product? Is it they're thinking it's too complicated, it's too big, they're kind of psyching themselves out?
I absolutely. It's the fear of the unknown. You know what I mean? If you're a physical product seller, if you're a brick and mortar business, if you're selling services, it's just kind of what you've always done. You know what I mean? This is how I make my revenue. Ergo, I need to find more clients, right? And I'm sure I'm sure that rings a bell, right? Is I just need more clients, and then I got to hire more people to serve more clients, and that's the cycle. You know what I mean? But I think the beauty of a digital product, and why people should open their brains essentially to what's out there and what's possible, is imagine being able to pull more money without needing more clients and without needing more team and more overhead in your brand. I mean, that's the dream. I mean, that's what people really want, is how could I pull more juice from my squeeze and what I'm doing right now without taking on extra risk, without having to constantly get on that hamster wheel, essentially, of just, I just got to find my next client, my next client, my next client, right? What could you be doing, that is it's I think the right word is probably leverage. You know what I mean? A digital product provides a really nice leverage point for business owners of any shape and size to pull more profit, more revenue out of their business with a really, really, like, with a scalpel's amount of work, not, like some big heavy lift.
Now, what you guys have been able to create really falls in line with simplifying that process of delivering, the checkout process and delivering the digital product. Before we get into what SamCart can do, what was the reason why it started? I think I know a little bit about it, but I'm going to let you tell that story about how that company got started.
Absolutely. Yeah, we built SamCart to scratch our own itch. I mean, essentially, myself and my older brother Brian, our two co-founders here at SamCart. That's what we do here. If we back up a decade, or now it's over a decade, which is odd because I always feel strange. I'm not overly like, I'm only 32. Like, I'm not overly old, but I mean, I've been doing online stuff now for almost 12 years, which is wild. This feels like not that long ago, but we were ourselves digital product creators, right? Our very first brand was a baseball training business. We both were Brian was a really good college baseball player. I was a okay college baseball player. I was a perfectly average college baseball player. But we loved it. That was our thing. Brian graduates, gets a job. We sort of are from sort of right outside the Washington D.C. area. He gets this job in a government basement, essentially a really common thing by us. Hates his life, has to leave his phone in his car. Like, wife works nights, so they're just passing ships and stuff. Anyway, and so he's like, I think I want to try and start some stuff online. I want to try and sell some stuff online. And I'm still in a college dorm room, and I'm just laughing. I'm thinking like, oh, wouldn't that be something, right? But basically, we got into the digital product world. We created some video courses, we created some ebooks, and those things kind of took off for us. And so, fast forward a couple of years, it's our full-time job, both of us. We're running kind of a low seven-figure brand that's doing great stuff, and we had a great lifestyle, and it was certainly a lot of fun. But essentially, the tools that we needed to sell our stuff in that business were it was sort of this it was this catch 22. The tools were either way too simple to sell our stuff, like a PayPal button on a page, right? Way too simple. Or they were so advanced that we needed tech help and software engineers. And we had this one friend named John Klein. And it wasn't even really his thing. He wasn't really a software engineer, but he kind of did it in his spare time. And like, we were just hucking money at this guy. No one was more upset when we decided that, actually, it's funny, he was probably equal parts upset and relieved. But we started thinking, okay, how can we build a tool that does advance things that we need really simply, right? Because we are product creators and marketers and writers, and that's our passion. I'm not a techie kind of person. So I needed a tool to sell our stuff that was going to do advanced things like let people buy more stuff, right? I want people to really easily be able to add things along the way as they're buying. I wanted to use stored credit card technology so that people could buy things with one click, like Amazon and Apple and all those kind of, at the time, at least, that was like super new and revolutionary. I remember that back in 2015. Remember buying something from the App Store with your face? Remember the first time you did that? Like, I don't know if you have iPhone or not, or Android even, right? It's like the first time you're like, I remember doing that with my face and thinking like, this is the future. Like, I've got to get this for what I'm doing. And so anyway, so we started, we contracted with some friends of ours who were like, legit software engineers. We didn't need John's help so much. I think John was equal parts relieved because he kind of like got his nights back and could, see his friends and stuff. But at the same time, we were enriching that gentleman just fine, just trying to keep our business where we knew we needed it to be, right? And so, SamCart came out of that. That was SamCart. We built SamCart's beta in 2014. We came out, sort of brought it out to the world in production at the end of, or tail end of 2015. And here we are. Yeah, like you said, I mean, now we're powering. I got to update those numbers too, by the way. Those numbers are
I
now.
pulled that from your LinkedIn profile.
I was gonna say, yeah, I need to update my own LinkedIn profile, I guess then, yeah. Yeah, I mean, we're something north of 24 or 25,000 businesses. We're approaching $2.5 billion in sales through the platform. Basically the same itch that we felt back in 2015 resonates. I mean, we are here to put more tools into your toolbox as an entrepreneur, right? As a business owner, we want to help you guys, with features that are going to help you maximize what every customer is spending, make it easy for your customers to buy, and make it easy for them to come back again and again. And so, we could talk about specifics and kind of that kind of stuff, but at a high level, that's what SamCart was built to do. We built it for ourselves, and then people started asking questions, and we turned it into, kind of a SaaS platform that anybody could go use. And haven't really looked back. SamCart, of course, has become our main focus. This is what we do now. You know what I mean? All day, every day. And certainly that digital product sort of like origin story, it has certainly paid dividends as we continue to sort of build features that we know our customers would love, that we know is going to help empower creators and entrepreneurs to do more with their bottom line and pull more money out of their business, because we're that person. You know what I mean? I'm still right now, my job still is to build things that I know I would use, and that I know I would love just from, what we've always done.
Yeah, and what I love is the fact that you guys came at it as creators of this product,
Yeah.
as users, right? Versus software engineers who are just developing a tool, right? So you've
Absolutely.
got that experience that way.
Yeah.
Now, you guys are always invested in helping your client base. Creator U, what you just launched, is a great example of that.
Right.
tell me where this came from, and why, and then how's it, since launch, I'd say about a month ago, how's it kind of taken off?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So Creator U is basically, it's funny. I kind of like, this is such a tired analogy, but it fits. It makes sense. And people get it, right? It's a Netflix style library for creators that want to grow their business online. Like that's what it is. And it is essentially because, right? I talked a couple minutes ago, I said the whole idea of, you know, everyone listening to this podcast, watching this podcast, likely has something sitting on their hard drive right now that they could package up and sell. And that's essentially what Creator U is. Creator U is essentially my hard drive of things that we've just created over the years to help creators make awesome products, to help them, craft sales pages that convince people to buy stuff, that, strategies that they should be using to double or triple what every customer is spending, right? And we just had, over the years, we've just created so much content like that. And so, that content is super useful, super valuable, but it's also not really SamCart. Like SamCart's the tool, you know what I mean? Like SamCart has training about what buttons to click and all that kind of stuff. That's always going to be just free and over there and everybody can go get it. This is like how do I make you a better creator? How do I make you a better entrepreneur? How do I put what I know about growing audiences and maximizing order value and things like that into everyone's brains? And so we basically said, listen, let's package it up. Let's sell it for nothing. You know what I mean? It's because because SamCart is what we do. You know what I mean? I don't really need to like sell these courses and trainings and make money from that. You know what I mean? It's all about how can our hope is that Creator U is out there. It costs virtually nothing, right? And I don't want to make it sound like it's nothing. I think it's, at $12 a month to start is like, virtually nothing for what's in there. And our hope is that Creator U becomes like the minor leagues, that everybody grows up and instantaneously realizes I'm going to partner the knowledge from Creator U, the tool of SamCart, and we're going to help create, the next level of people who are SamCart top sellers. So it basically came out because of the same idea. We had just created so much of this content over the years. Because of SamCart and who is on our platform, we have access to just some of the most unbelievably sharp people that I've ever had the pleasure of working with. You know what I mean? And so we bring in SamCart's top creators to sort of share their superpower inside of Creator U. And so, yeah, we basically wanted to create the end all be all library of how do I grow my business online, and of course centered around digital products is sort of that kind of thing. But I mean, there's stuff in there for services, there's stuff in there for physical product sellers, there's stuff in there for influencers. It's just whatever you're sort of doing online. If you want to grow an audience and monetize that audience, Creator U is an awesome place for people to go and learn. And we launched about a month ago, and I mean, yeah, we're approaching 10,000 paying subscribers, like that. I mean, it has been wildly popular. It's been a really, really awesome thing. And it's easy to see why. You know what I mean? They're just, human nature dictates, you know what I mean, that 98% of the world is in learning mode and 2% is in like doing mode. You know what I mean? And so for people out there, and I guess really I should rephrase that. Even the 2% that are in doing mode are smart enough to understand that they need to keep learning. And so, it's been a big hit with SamCart's current customers. It's been a big hit with people who think they're not ready for SamCart yet. You know what I mean? And are just sort of learning and want to figure out and try to understand strategically what should my next step be? How do I approach this? And that's exactly why we built it. So it's been a really, really exciting update, a really exciting new thing for us.
Yeah, what I love about it is the fact that it's, your content's in there, but also, the who's who, the people, the experts in other key areas have their videos and trainings in there, which is awesome.
Yeah, I
I
love
think
that.
any business needs to have that library.
For sure. Yeah, I love that. I was curious, like you obviously went and you made a review and we're all about it kind of right away. I'm curious, like which trainings have you watched or which ones have you been through that really stand out to you?
Well, I've been through your Instagram one.
Yes. Yeah.
Uh,
Instagram
that
Insider. Yep.
was
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
first one. That was the very first one I've been through, and then a couple of the other ones that you guys have put out. I'm in the middle of the TikTok one, but
That was
mainly what
wild.
I'm doing, yeah, I've been referring it to a lot of clients, and kind of making it the backbone of any client work that I'm doing.
Love that.
Kind of making a recommendation that, if we're going to work together, this is the library you need, and we're going to reference training in there, but we're going to do our specialty on the other side
I love that.
too.
It's great. And it's cool to know that it's sort of a multiplier for you. You know what I mean? As someone who, we at different points did agency work and things like that. I was always just soaking up knowledge, trying to think, how can I be more dangerous for my clients? And I love it. I love that that's, it's a resource for you to to help expand, offerings that you can offer to people you're working with. You can, if you're a product owner, a product creator, obviously you can put it to work for what you're doing. But from your end, I think is an awesome, second really cool angle there. That's great.
For sure. Now, I want to clear up maybe a question somebody might have listening to this. We talked about SamCart being, a tool for selling your digital products, but it is a place where you can actually house your content, right? So it not
True.
only sells, but it delivers the content, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, at its core, SamCart is always about e-commerce.
Mhm.
That's our bread and butter. That's what we do better than anybody is. We are going to help you guys collect your orders, maximize your order value, manage your business easier, integrate with all your favorite tools. That's really what we do. But we have a series of things that we sort of refer to as apps inside of the tool, but it's basically like, okay, if I was going to take like a half step to the right and say like, okay, like I'll give you an example. One of the other apps in there is cart abandonment, right? So
Mhm.
cart abandonment is not necessarily like super super core to e-commerce, but we saw people paying obscene amounts of money for other tools in other places that like do something very very simple. So we built an app, right? It's SamCart clips. We call them prospects, and you can kind of write email messages and talk to your prospects and bring them back to buy more stuff and stuff like that. So a couple months ago, maybe actually, I guess we're coming up on a year. It's probably like 10 months ago now at this point. We released what our newest and now most popular app, we just call courses. And so basically what we wanted to do was, again, it was another one of these things. So many of SamCart's product sellers are digital people. They're selling ebooks and video courses and digital assets and downloads and all that kind of stuff. And so we wanted to create a really nice, lightweight area for our customers to deliver that digital content behind a password protected paywall, right?
Mhm.
And so there are a lot of tools that do exactly that. There are WordPress plugins and full SaaS platforms, and there's a lot of different ways to kind of make that stuff happen. I've used all of them over the years, right? And
Mhm.
our biggest kind of beef with all those other tools that do that is like number one, that's kind of all they do, right? But then no one, and I still do not understand why this is. None of them have brought e-commerce into that world, right? All of them just miss out on the opportunity for you to take this, I would call a members area, right, where your customers are hanging out and downloading and watching your digital content. That should have been years ago. That should have turned into the App Store. That should have turned into Amazon. That should have turned into a place where your customers can go in, explore all the other stuff that you have, and buy it using their card on file. And no one had ever done that. And we just did not understand why that was. So we built SamCart Courses, an app inside of SamCart. It's included on every SamCart plan, where basically, yeah, you can house video courses. You can house digital downloads for service offerings. We have service companies who will sell people into their service and then deliver sort of like quick onboarding videos. Here's a series of things we need to watch before you and I start this engagement, new client A. And we do all that kind of stuff. And then, yeah, we brought the idea of our stored credit card technology is now inside of that area. So you can showcase other services. You can showcase, masterminds and monthly memberships and other digital products. And you can sell physical products and stuff like that and showcase these other products. And your customers can buy them using their card on file. And it is wildly popular. I mean, it's just been, and no surprise, right? I mean, anybody who
Mhm.
sort of understands the idea that if you can, and here's a great stat. This is from the marketing research blog. And their stat is saying that your customer lifetime value, what you gain, what revenue you make from a single customer should be 9 times their initial purchase price with you, right? So if you sign a client for $1,000 engagement, right, you should be able to reasonably pull out $9,000 in revenue over the lifetime of that customer. And most people never make it past that first transaction, right? The average is still just one transaction, right? For most sort of businesses and things like that. And so, giving entrepreneurs, giving creators and stuff like that, the tools that they need to recognize that the rest of that revenue, you know what I mean? The 9 times sort of number has been wildly popular. That's really all we do. And were really excited to bring that same idea into, a place where people can deliver that digital content, instantaneously right after someone buys, toss them in this area. They see exactly what they have. You can showcase what they don't own and let them buy it right there using their card on file. It's just a really smooth, logical way, for people to sell more to their hottest people, their existing customers.
Absolutely. I mean, the customer experience is first and foremost
Absolutely.
amazing in your platform.
Love that.
So just before we wrap up, two questions for you. Is there anything on the roadmap that you can share with us for what's coming out with SamCart?
Yeah, let's talk about it. So, we are we're at a really exciting point here with SamCart. We just raised what's our Series B right before Christmas. We raised $82 million, and so since at the time of this recording, we're early May. In the last 5 or 6 months here, we have almost doubled the size of our team. We're about 110 some odd people now here, which basically just means we are working on stuff and have been already sort of working on stuff, right? That we are just cannot wait to kind of get out there. One of the big things, and I don't want to spoil too much, that's kind of coming that way. But in the same way that we have sort of these apps that support e-commerce sort of in the middle, we have some other ones that are coming out that we're really excited about. I don't want to do like too much here, but if anybody out there is currently, giving away free lead magnets, if anybody's currently, giving away SamCart is great at selling things, but if you're trying to give away things for free, we've got a really, really awesome solution coming your guys' way relatively shortly. I don't want to promise too much there. But some of the other stuff that we're working on is we are, as always, we are fully focused on our e-commerce kind of core there. But we're working on something that essentially that we want to give our customers the ability to take what we do best, which is SamCart's e-commerce thing, and we want you to be able to take that anywhere in your business. We want you to be able to take that on social media, take it into into blog posts, take it into emails. We want to be able to take that experience everywhere, so that your ability to present someone with an offer and close the sale right there, can happen anywhere you need it to happen, right? And so, that's some stuff that we're really, really excited about. We launched our customer hub not too long ago, where customers, your customers have one unified place where they can log in and see their card on file and check out their subscriptions. They can cancel it or manage it if you want them to let them do that. We'll be expanding on that, sort of bringing e-commerce into that area as well. So, we're just excited to continue to grow what we do at our core so well. We are really here to help our customers sell more and give them tools to sell more on top of that. We want to bring more customers into your world and then give every one of those customers really easy, frictionless ways to find your other stuff and keep buying. And to do that passively, right? To do that without an entrepreneur needing to be on the phone, needing to send emails. That should just happen. And so we're really excited to keep rolling out more tools that make that happen. And just that's where we're going here for the rest of 2022.
Well, I mean, not to be a pun with the original reason why you started this, but I think you guys are hitting a home run with this. But
I appreciate that. There we go. Yeah, I was going to say, yeah. I'll take it,
my
man.
last
I'm all for baseball puns. I'm all in. Yep.
and my last question is the name SamCart. Where did that come? Like, what's the Sam part?
I wish I had a better story for this one. Every time we literally have laughed. We're like, we should make up a better story for this one because it's just not that good. Essentially, everybody, anybody who kind of casually is in our world and stuff like that, I'll get emails and stuff like that to Facebook tags and stuff all the time where I get called Sam because people just assume, oh, that guy's name must be Sam, right? That must be it. And unfortunately, I'm not Sam. We don't know a Sam. We don't have anyone in our family named Sam. It's not like some ode to a child or something. No, when we originally started this, cart obviously it was sort of logical the way we kind of cart in e-commerce, and that's what we do. Sales is sort of a loose acronym for sales and marketing, which is sort of the slant at which we always approach everything because we were, sales marketing people sort of coming in. That was always kind of it. But that's not really that's not canon. It's not like official. If we ever, I don't write a book about SamCart or something like that, like something kind of crazy like that you wouldn't find that in the book. But essentially, at the end of the day, the reason we chose SamCart is it was as short as we humanly could make it. Right? You basically all 6 character domain names are sort of gone and have been gone for years. 7 characters was easily available, and you couldn't misspell it. I mean, at the end of the day, that's really what we wanted. We wanted something people couldn't misspell. Although we do get Sam's Club a lot. I don't know. Do you have Sam's Club in Canada?
No,
It's like
no.
the Walmart version of Costco. That's what it is. So it's Sam's
Okay.
Club. And so we get that a lot. People oh yeah, Sam's Club. And or they call us Sam's Cart, I guess. So I guess there is ways of misspelling it. I guess it was naive to think that people couldn't find a way to do it. But yeah, we wanted something short that people couldn't misspell. Cart was kind of nice to throw in there. And that was kind of it. I really wish we had a better story. I will say this as a follow-up. We now, at this point, I think we have 5 or 6 different Sams that work here. So Sam, Samantha, Samuel kind of stuff. And every year we do, were you an Office fan? Did you watch the American version of The Office? Okay. All right. So we have a tip of the cap to the Dundies. We have the Sammy Awards, which we do every Christmas. And so our last Sammy Awards at Christmas, right before that, we gave out We said, it's finally time. We should give out the official Sam of SamCart, SamCart Award. So we gave out a Sammy for that. But as a, literally it was the day of the awards. We were getting ready to give it out. And somebody was like, don't you think if we pick a Sam, the other Sams might feel a little slighted? Doesn't that feel like a little, what about that? So we ended up giving it to an incredible teammate, somebody on our team who everybody just loves. She's an incredible worker, incredible person. We give it to someone named Rita. So we have an official Sam now, but it's not a Sam, but it's a whole thing. It's this whole kind of roundabout thing. I wish I had a better story, but Sam and
That's a pretty good story,
that's what we got.
Excellent. So Scott, thank you so much for sharing this story and all the wisdom. And we'll put the links to SamCart and Creator U with the podcast. And again, thank you so much. I'm looking forward to seeing what other wonderful things you guys put together over the coming months and years.
Awesome. Sean, thanks so much for having me out. If anybody has any questions, want to reach out, of course, I am Scott at SamCart. Feel free, hit me guys up anytime. Love to help however we can. And thanks again for having me on.
As I mentioned at the top of the show, this episode is sponsored by ewebinar.com. You know what? I've used a lot of webinar platforms over the years, not only for myself, but for my clients. And when I found eWebinar, the experience that the attendee to the webinar has in an automated webinar platform is far superior with ewebinar.com than any other platform that I've ever seen. So I urge you, if you're in the space of doing webinars and you haven't thought about doing an automated one, or maybe you already have automated webinars and you want to up your game to a platform that's going to convert more, keep the attendees active even longer, check out ewebinar.com. You can get a 14-day free trial. Again, ewebinar.com.